very warm welcome to our Chem 112 course. The main purpose of this video is to talk you through how we'll be using the Moodle shell to guide you through the various aspects of this course. I'm going to start off first of all by offering a land acknowledgement. I respectfully acknowledge that our Penticton, Kelowna, and Vernon campuses are located on the traditional and unceded territory of the Syilx Okanagan people, and our Salmon Arm campus is located on the traditional and unceded territory of the Secwepemc people. Before we get to the Moodle course, I'd just like to remind you about some of the things that I've asked you to do before coming to class on Thursday, September the 8th. For one, I've asked you to purchase the course pack and the lab manual. I've asked you to register for the Active Chem platform. I'll say more about that in this video. I've asked you to watch the welcome video, which you're doing right now. I've asked you to take a look at the syllabus and the course schedule. And I've also asked you to watch some videos, the Chem Activity videos parts 1 and 2. If you have time and you're inspired, please also watch the Chem Activity 2 videos, parts 1 and 2. Now, I don't want to overwhelm you at the beginning of the course. However, I have found that it's helpful for students to get a jump start, so to speak, and get these various activities, especially ones that are related to review, under their belt, so that we can move at a more tempered pace through the rest of the course when we're dealing with material that's a bit more challenging. Now let's turn our attention again to our Moodle course, and I'm starting with the introductory page, where you will see, in addition to the land acknowledgement, course topics and intended learning outcomes. Now, each of these graphics is actually a link to the intended learning outcomes, so you can click them and see what we're supposed to be learning for each of these different sections. Next, I'd like to take a look at the course resources, so I'll click on that button. Under the course resources, you'll find the formula sheet, which I'll say more about in class, but you'll find that this will be a very helpful resource. You will find the long form syllabus and the short form syllabus. So definitely take a look at the long form syllabus, but I'm going to briefly open up the short form syllabus here. In the short form syllabus, you'll see that I've outlined various important features of the course. For instance, how your grade will be calculated, late policies, how you contact me, what are the office hours, when the midterms are, all the key things that you need to refer to in short order. You will also find here under course resources the course schedule. Now, I should say I make significant use of the Moodle calendar to help keep you organized, but it's also helpful to have a bird's eye view of the various course content, the Chem Activity videos that I'll be asking you to watch, the various important dates such as the statutory holidays, as well as, of course, our midterms. Further, under our course resources, you'll find a link to the office hours, as well as a link to the Zoom. The idea here is I'm more than happy to meet with you while I'm on the Salmon Arm campus on Tuesdays and Thursdays. However, you may have questions on Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, and I can certainly meet with you over Zoom. I'm also pointing out to you that we have access to the Active Chem here, and as indicated in the email that I sent you, when you first go into Active Chem, you should use this particular link, register for the course, and take advantage of the 2-week grace period that you have from the beginning date of the course. There's also instructions about doing that right here, as well as instructions about downloading the app. Another feature of the course resources is the Chem 112 course pack. Now, I've already indicated to you that I'm asking you to buy the course pack. The course pack, however, is also linked here. So in the event that you don't have your course pack with you, you can always click on this link and get whatever pages or details that you need. Now, that said, some of you may actually be using a tablet that you can write on. So you wouldn't, in fact, actually have to buy the course pack. You could just use this PDF and download it onto your tablet and work from there. So whatever your preference is, but you need to be able to fill in the course pack as course notes while we go along in the lectures. I'd like to also show you some other resources that we have. So for instance, I have some additional video resources. In part, I share these with you because I'm not actually asking you to purchase a textbook. So I thought it would be helpful to have some simulations and animations available. Let's take a look under synchronous classes. During class, I'll be asking you to do a number of activities. These are sometimes based on H5P or on a different interactive platform. I also will be posting the Kaltura videos here. Let me explain that a bit. For each lesson, I will be recording that lesson and then after the fact, posting the lesson. This is in the event that if you're not able to attend class, well, one, you can attend by the streaming Kaltura software, or you can take a look at the video afterwards. I do encourage you that if you can't make it to class, that you actually attend through the streaming video so that you can participate in the polling that we'll be using with ActiveChem. One way or another, you should have the lecture material available to you through these Kaltura videos. I also have here the Chem Activity videos and tutorials. Under this section, you see that I've organized this according to week. And so in most weeks, I'll be asking you to watch some H5P video. The reason why I ask you to do this is so that we can spend more time during class doing some practice and answering questions and also having me probe questions of you. Now, I'd like to say a little bit about what's involved in watching a video using the H5P platform. So for instance, I've asked you to take a look at Chem Activity 1, Part 1, and you'll see it says assigned here. So indeed, I'm asking you to do this. So when you open up the video, it'll look something like this. I often like to watch the video with full screen, so I'll make this full screen. So of course you'll start and play the video, but you'll notice along the timeline there are some circles. These are embedded questions. So I'm going to start playing the video, but I'm going to jump right to one of the embedded questions. So we're approaching that embedded question. Okay, so here we have a quick check 1. So I'll open this, and it says here, fill in the missing words. So in the lab, we will use, and then it says, as a measure of precision. So let's see, maybe this is standard deviation. And then as a measure of accuracy, this would be perhaps percent difference. Let's see how we did. I got this correct. Now, let us say that you didn't know the answer and you typed in an incorrect answer. Well, you'll always have an opportunity to retry the question until you get it right. So it should be that you get 100% in these interactive video questions. And then I'd click continue. And of course, the video will continue. Now, you'll notice that there are a couple of other questions to answer. But what I'm going to ask you, or what I'm going to show you right now is, it'll always be that when you get towards the end of the video, a pop-up window will show asking you to submit. So let's see if I can get to that. There's the pop-up window. Now, of course, there would have been, for instance, 4 different questions to answer, whereas I've only answered 1. So you want to make sure that you answered all the questions. And then you'll click Submit. What this does is it registers your participation in answering the questions into the Moodle Gradebook. So you can also check the Moodle Gradebook to make sure that everything is up to date. I'll see that the grades have gone into the Moodle Gradebook, and therefore I know that you have at least gone through the questions in the video. So we've looked at the course resources, additional video resources, the synchronous classes, the Chem Activity videos and tutorials. There's also a tab here called Growth and Goals. I'll explain more about this when we get into class, but I'm very excited but the opportunity for you to participate in this module. So this is where you find it, and you'll see that there are various chapters to the module. You'll also find among the resources in the Moodle page, or the Moodle course, answers to chem activity exercises. So once you get the course pack, you'll notice that pretty much at the end of every chem activity or chapter, there will be some questions. Now, answering these questions is voluntary. These are extra practice questions. You will find the answers to these extra practice questions right here. So if you click on any of these, you'll find it as a PDF and a fully worked out answer. So it's just some extra resource for you. You'll see that I have another link here, Moodle quizzes. Now again, these are not assigned, they're not compulsory, but they're just extra quizzes if you want some additional practice. And then finally, sample tests and exams. So when I click on this, I see, for instance, example 1 and example 2. So I've provided examples of term tests 1, 2, and 3, and the final with answers. So you can see the sorts of questions that you can expect to see in these various kinds of assessment. So don't forget the things that I'm asking you to do before coming to class on Thursday, September the 8th. I'm very much looking forward to meeting you then, and I wish you all the success and enjoyment in this first semester chemistry course.